This is episode number 82 of the Kris Rose Rotation, a production of JOMBOY Media, and we are going to a land far, far away to welcome in one of my co-hosts from the Rose Rotation. He, of course, is the outstanding shortstop of the Miami Marlins, Miguel Rojas. Where are you?
Hey, what's up, Kris? It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to me to talk to you again and connecting with all the fans of baseball. I mean, it's been difficult and in different times this off season, but I'm happy that I have this connection with you, so I can still have the dialogue with the fans and continue to keep them informed of what's going on. But I'm in Caracas, Venezuela right now, so I'm visiting my family. Actually doing a lot of different stuff this off season. I wanted to play winter ball, but I'm guessing we're gonna get into all that in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a lot to cover. Let's start with your exercise regimen, man. I check out your Instagram story every day, and I didn't know if maybe during the lockout you're trying to become like Mr. Olympia or do something. I saw you in a spin class. What's going on?
Yeah, I did my first ever spin class today, and it was amazing. I feel like, you know, you're always trying to find ways to get better at something, and you always want to get leaner. You always want to keep yourself in the best shape possible. And you know, when you're out of your ordinary spot, when you're not like doing the stuff that you've been doing for a long time, you need to like improvise on things, you know. And for me to do cardio, I feel like, I mean, I get bored when I jump in a treadmill and I have to run for like 20 minutes, you know. Like that's the kind of stuff that I mean it gets kind of boring to me, you know. It's grinding and instead of being fun. So today I decided, you know, I have like a light day of weights. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna jump in this class. And man, that class was no joke. An hour and 10 minutes of like just pedaling a bike with a lot of different exercises. The good thing is the music. The music is bumping, you know, like really cool music. And the instructor was amazing. I got the opportunity. Actually, let me tell you this. I got a couple of prospects from different organizations. One from the Dodgers, one from the Indians, and a couple more that working out over there. And I drag him with me to go do the class, and we had a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying like taking care of the young players as well while I'm here in Venezuela.
That's awesome. I did I think 2 spin classes in my life. I am significantly older than you. I could be like either your uncle or your way older brother, one of the two. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But you know, I don't know how much we've seen each other in person. I'm shaped like a pear, Miggy. So I get
what do you mean when you say that?
I got a big fat ass is what it comes down to. So
okay.
Yeah, and so my derriere doesn't fit on the seat all that well.
Oh yeah. I get it. I get that feeling, because today it was kind of uncomfortable because the first couple minutes I was actually hitting my knees on the front of the bike. So I need to stop for a second and like recalibrate the whole bike, because it was kind of uncomfortable. I get you. It's an uncomfortable situation when you don't know what you're doing.
That's not the spin company calling, asking for their shoes back, is it?
No. I don't know. I'm not in my territory, so I'm trying to do things here a little bit different. But I'll answer that call later.
Got it. Are you staying with family right now, or who are you staying with?
Yeah, I'm actually staying at my wife's mother's house.
Oh, your mother-in-law's.
Yeah, my mother-in-law is been great for us this whole time here in Venezuela. We're staying here. I'm actually pretty close to my mom, which I mean is the reason why I'm here in Venezuela, because I wanted to spend holidays with her. Right. You know, help my sister with her throughout all the process. And I mean, I'm pretty comfortable here because this is where I grew up, and actually staying in a different place where I grew up, but at the end of the day, it's kind of close, and I'm driving up and down.
Okay, so a couple of things. Get closer camera, I need to ask you this quietly.
What do you got?
Do you get along with your mother-in-law?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
100%. I
okay,
mean,
good, because I do too. I love
I
my
got lucky.
mother-in-law.
Yeah, yeah.
But you
I'm pretty
understand
lucky.
why I had to bring you in close, because some people
Oh
that
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it, and trust me, I'm a really like easy going guy, you know, like I don't need much, but I mean, I can actually be disliked by a lot of people because the way that like I'm always, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm really professional even off the field. I'm
Right.
trying to keep everything like, I don't know, like my way. If it's not my way, I'm probably gonna be, you know, in a bad mood.
Ooh.
And so sometimes there's things that it's really hard to keep up with me in the daily basis because I mean, if I have a routine that I have to go to the gym and I have to go to run and I have to go hit, nothing else can be in the way. And you know, sometimes when you have a family and not sometimes, every day when your family is around, you have to actually become a family man first.
Sure.
And sometimes I get in bad moods and stuff, but I got pretty lucky that my mother-in-law is amazing, and I think she loves me too.
Oh, I'm sure she loves you. In fact, my mother-in-law's got a birthday tomorrow, so we're gonna go celebrate that. Yeah, she's a good one. She's great, really good. And it's been very nice because, you know, I lost my mom 14 years ago. So to have somebody that is a kind of a motherly figure around is really heartwarming and special. And so, you know,
it's great. Did you enjoy her food? And
oh yeah,
when you go
no,
to
she's yeah.
that's the best.
Now, I will say this: a lot of it is the same. Like her meatballs, and she does like a whole bowl of meatballs and like sausages for the holidays. That's what we're going to be having on Christmas Eve over there. And we play a little game because Michelle's got a sister and a brother, and they've got spouses, and obviously we've got we play the game. Guess how many meatballs and sausages are in the pot? And we started that.
Okay.
The first year I nailed it exactly on the button. And they thought
how many?
No, I forget what the number was, but I nailed both of them. And they're looking at me like I'm a witch or something. They're like, how do you know that? I was like, you know, just figuring out the math. I was like, well, each person probably eats about 3 to 4 meatballs. I'm trying to break it all down.
Right.
Yeah. So,
wow, what a smart man.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to food, don't get in my way, Mickey.
No, I mean, it's not just the food. It's about a lot of things.
For those people that have followed the Rose rotation, when you have been on with us, you've been very open about your mom's battle with cancer. How is she feeling?
So she's not doing really like well or great, but she continues to fight. You know, like that's something that I always gonna have. I don't know, like major respect just for the fight, the continue to have hope to live life. That's one of the things that I always gonna learn from, and a lot of people is learning from right now. You know, from my family, everybody who's involved in my family is amazed of the things that my mom have to get through just to live a quality life. And one of the things is that the treatment is so intense and giving her so many discomforts not just in the parts that the cancer actually grew up a little bit, but different ways, you know, like vomiting and like not feeling well, feeling under the weather almost every day just because of the treatment. That's something that you have to battle every single day, and I can't even imagine how my mom feels in some days that I feel like, I mean, I just want to be there for her and be able to give it a hug and spend time with her. But thank you for asking again. And I know people not just here in Venezuela, but in USA, and people who follow me from different places. I know they're praying for her, and I appreciate everything that I'm reading in social media. People who connected with me, my phone, call me, stuff like that. The first person who they always ask is for my grandfather and my mom, and I'm amazed the way that they build a family, and the people continue to remember that.
Well, please send her our best and give her a big old hug for it from everybody that not only works on the Rose rotation and here at JOMBOY Media, but all of our followers too. It's really
I
important,
appreciate that.
particularly at this time of year, dude. You know, I mean, we all get so caught up in, you know, what? Hey, what'd you get? What'd you get your kids? Are they going to be happy? At the end of the day, man, I think if we have learned anything during this pandemic, we have to have each other and the people who are around us that make us feel good and make us feel special. And it's that simple. And I'm so happy you get to hug her, man.
Yeah, man. Value what really matters, which is a family and the time that you can spend with them. Because I mean, our situation being from Venezuela and not being able to be the whole year round. I mean, appreciate every moment with the loved ones if you have it next to you, and if you have an opportunity to be with them, even if it's not a holiday, make them feel special, because that's one of the things that, I mean, you're always gonna remember. It doesn't matter what you get for a gift, or if you have 140 pair of shoes. It's all about like that love from the loved ones and the family who always gonna be there for you.
With all that being said, if somebody wants to get Miggy a new pair of Jordans, he's not going to turn them away.
No, definitely not.
What was the last pair? What was the last pair you got?
I got a pair actually before I came here, because I went to. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys saw that, and I mean, let me tell you something. The Kris Rose family rotation. It's been amazing with me throughout this whole process, because I mean, there's not an event that I do or a thing that I do on social media or that I post that is not like considered by the Kris Rose rotation family on all the social media channels. So thank you very much for that. I went to the Sport Illustrated Award event, and I got my latest pair of Jordans. So I was dressing all nice with my suit. Button up a shirt. I was looking good because I mean, you know, it was my first red carpet, and I matched that with a pair of Jordans that I really like. So that was my latest get.
Well, you know, for the Sports Illustrated Awards that you're talking about, Tom Brady was named the Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year.
Right.
So he was there. He flew in for that. I saw Gronk was there.
Yeah.
Not a bad place to hang out, I suppose.
No, it was pretty amazing, man. A lot of Heat players as well. Udonis Haslem, Tyler Hero won one of the awards. The best feet, the best guy, the guy who dresses the best in on athletes throughout the whole year. And it was Tom Brady was there. Yeah, Gronk was there. I was pretty excited to see him because I wanted to say, hey, you're in my fantasy football league. So thank you for everything that you've done for me. So it was pretty amazing night, you know, like getting the opportunity to meet people like that. And actually, it was pretty amazing to me seeing myself between all those athletes, you know, who've been so successful in the game and in sports, like overall, you know, like we're talking about not just men but a woman as well, you know. And it's just amazing seeing so many stars from different sports getting together in the same place, and just finding myself there make me appreciate everything that I've been through.
Can you believe that Tom Brady is 44 and he is still doing it? And he's probably going to win another MVP, and he's going to have his team fighting right there for yet another suit. I mean, you must, as a professional athlete, you must look at him an entirely different way than most of us as fans do, right?
No, definitely. When you see an athlete like him, you always gotta say thank you, because that he's one of the better examples that if you do the things the right way and you take care of your body and you do the things that you need to do, you can play as long as you want, you know. It's not an excuse that people is gonna push you out of the game or anything like that. People like Tom Brady, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant on his time, and guys who have been playing for a long time. We got Nelson Cruz in baseball. We got Albert Pujols. We got Scherzer, pitching mid-30s, and he's still making money, still winning Cy Youngs. Those guys are the ones that you always have to appreciate and say thank you for everything that you've done. And something that, along those lines, something that Martin Prado told me, it was when he signed his contract. A lot of players, when they sign big contracts, they lay back a little bit, and say, you know what, I got my money, I got my years, so I'm just gonna play. And you got a responsibility which is bigger than just the contract. Is making that team look good with that contract that they gave you. So Martin told me that, and I took it personal because when you get an opportunity to get a big contract, like or winning another championship like Michael Jordan did, like Tom Brady's doing right now, you want to continue to get better, to give more opportunity to guys who are getting older as well. If those guys stop producing at 30, 32, 35, whatever it is, you're going to be out of the game, as soon as you get that age. So, I got nothing but respect for those legends. And I'm so glad that I was in the same space with them.
So it's the holiday season. Maybe you're out partying, having a good time, throwing a few back, end of the night. You and that someone special want to get things going. You want to make sure that you are in peak performance, but perhaps you're having a little trouble, a little issue. Well, don't sit on the sidelines. Get some help. That's where our friends at GetRoman.com are here to lend a helping hand. If you use the code word JOMBOY, you now get to speak to a licensed U.S. healthcare professional about any form of erectile dysfunction. And if you do, you're going to get $15 off your first month of treatment. Now, here's the deal. Did you know that 52% of all men ages 40 to 70 deal with some form of erectile dysfunction? So you're not alone here. We're talking about more than half the population. So you're going to want to do something about it. It's an important part of your life. You want to get back in the game. You want to do your thing. You want to please your partner. So why not? When you speak to the U.S. licensed healthcare professional, you do it discreetly. You don't have to stand in line. You don't have to go to a doctor's office. You do it from the confines of your own home. You pick up the phone. They'll give you a plan of attack, and they'll take it from there. And if any medication is needed, you don't have to go to the pharmacy to pick it up. They send it to your own home. 2 days shipping, taken care of. So once again, it is GetRoman.com. Keyword is JOMBOY. $15 off your first month of treatment. Let's go. Get Roman ready. You got to hang out with some good friends of yours. I think, was this at Poppy's event, or what was it with, I saw Soto, I saw Marte, I saw a bunch of other guys. Where was this?
Yeah, it was in Dominican Republic. Big Papi, David Ortiz, actually sent us this invitation to, it was like 6 of us Venezuelan guys who are, a couple of them legends. We're talking about Bobby Abreu, Melvin Mora, Andy Chavez, Edgardo Alfonso, and Luis Sojo. And it was me there with them, representing Venezuela in this event. He called it the Day of the Legends in Dominican Republic, and it was to get funds for his community service that he does in Dominican, helping kids recovering from heart problems. He's been helping a lot of Venezuelan people who moved to Dominican Republic because of the same reasons, the reason of how the country's been in Venezuela. So Dominican Republic has been amazing for us Venezuelans, welcome families and open arms to people who actually needs a new life, needs a new opportunity for their kids to grow up. And Big Papi did this event, and I got to hang out with a lot of legends. Pedro Martinez was there. It was Adrian Beltre, and we're talking about players from right now: Juan Soto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Starling Marte was there. It was amazing to see all of those guys on the same field at the same time, and see the love of the people in Santo Domingo for these players, and actually for us too. Saying appreciating that we're there and we're helping David Ortiz continue to create his legacy off the field as well. So I mean, nothing but good things to say about that event, and it was amazing to be part of that.
So did you go up to Marte, give him a big hug, and say, "Bro, why don't you come back home?"
The first thing that I say to him was like, what are you doing? You're stupid. You don't like Miami. You really want to go to New York and deal with the media and all that for a couple extra $1 million? And well, I mean, remember, Dominican guys have a lot of connection in New York as well. You know, he told me about family that he got there and all that stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, you just want your players. You know, you just want your players to get the best deal that they can get, and that's what we're fighting for. You know, that's always what you want to get. And a guy like Marte, mid-30s, and he's getting that kind of deal. You know,
hey, I'm happy for him, bro. I get it. You don't want to have to go against him 19 times a year. You want him helping you out. Like, it would have been great to get him. Maybe you don't sign Avisail Garcia. I don't know. You know that he's going to be a bat that's going to help your lineup, but maybe you sign a few other guys. You made a good trade for Joey Wendell, and all of a sudden, with that young pitching, I don't know if you contend for the division title, but you're not going to be losing 90 games. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, it sucks. It sucks that we lost him. You know, I mean, I still gonna be friends with him, but I'm kind of upset that he didn't receive our offer. And I mean, at the end of the day, everybody makes their own decision. But Marte is an amazing player, you know, and he can be the all-star player that we need in the middle of our lineup. You know, he did a really good job, help us make the playoff in 2020. And last year he was having an amazing year with us, and then he continued to have it in Oakland. So happy for Marte, but at the end of the day, I was pretty upset too, because I wanted on my team.
So I saw you taking the picture with Soto. Every time I see him, I'm thinking, I can't help but think what sort of dollar sign we're going to put on that guy.
Oh my God.
If I say more or less than $450 million for his next deal, what do you think it's going to be?
So this is a tough one, because he's gonna get his first arbitration, right, this year.
Yeah, but okay, so you get him now. I mean, why wouldn't you pay him? What is he, 24 or whatever?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know if that's gonna even happen. You know, with all the situations that we're dealing with right now. You know, what's gonna happen with all these big free agents that is still out there? You know,
well, you tell me. You're the player rep. Like,
yeah, I mean, I can tell you what's gonna happen. This is gonna hurt a lot of players, you know, who are in the middle of their careers, and they're probably not gonna find a job just because of all of these things that we're doing. You know, there's no reason for us to have a lockout right now. I mean, MLB implemented a lockout just because they wanted to do it. It's one of the things that they wanted to do. And just because they wanted to do that, I mean, we can have the dialogue that we can have right now to work towards a deal. So that way players can actually sign their deals and not being left out. And a lot of people can actually lose their careers just because of this.
By the way, is that one of the reasons that you had already had your vested option kick in? So you could have played the last year at, I think, $5.5 million. You ended up extending it and getting a 2-year, $10 million deal instead. Is that one of the reasons you wanted to take that security, was because you didn't know exactly how this was going to play out?
Yeah, Kris, because I mean, that's something that you always got to have in mind. You know, I mean, security and service time and years in baseball are really hard to get by, you know. And at the end of the day, I know you're gonna make your money playing baseball, but you gotta have some security for your family going forward. And I mean, a lot of people told me, why did you just, you know, you're gonna give him that discount, or why you wanna sell yourself like so low instead of play one more year and then go to free agency? Like, we don't know what's gonna happen right now. We're on that limbo where what if we don't play? What if that the next year is a shortened year? You know? So you gotta think about all that, and you gotta prepare for any scenario. I mean, we're not saying that we're not gonna play. We want to play, and we need to play, and we don't want a worse stoppage. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is a legal issue that players sometimes, even if we want to play, we want the best, not just for us, but for who's coming after us, you know, for the next generation. Because the previous generation fought for us really hard to get what we got right now. You know, for me to have a benefit plan, for my family to have a good life after baseball when I retire if I play 10 years, you know? They fought for that, and now it's our time to prepare for what's coming next and continue to do whatever the union is been doing. You know, I think baseball is the best union in sports, and hopefully we continue to do that, respecting the game, you know, because the game needs to be respect, because baseball is what everybody needs to see and everybody wants to see, and there's no way to change the game of baseball. We need to continue to fight for what's going to be best for players.
Well, it's interesting because we're actually going to have a union show coming up. You're going to be a part of one in the future, but the first one we're going to have is going to be with Lucas Giolito, Zach Britton of the Yankees, Marcus Semien now of the Texas Rangers. And they're going to kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but you need for people like me so that I understand what players are fighting for. What is it you guys are looking for when you're negotiating with the owners? And so we're going to have that coming out next week. And so you'll be able to look for that right after the Christmas holiday. And then we'll do a future one with you and a couple other players of the union as well. I am curious very quickly. I know that you said it's very important for you to be a player rep so that there is some Latin representation among player union reps. Is there something that you want to fight for Latin ball players that maybe guys who grew up here in the States don't understand?
Yeah, definitely. Especially because, you know, when I signed my first ever deal, I was 16 years old, but I got the opportunity to go to school, you know? I got the opportunity to get some education in before I signed as a baseball player. The reason why in Latin America we need a fix is because they continue to get these kids when they're 11, 12 years old, and they're taking them out of the school, out of their houses to go to that academy and practice baseball for 12 hours a day. And I think that's wrong. And that's one of the things that baseball players who've been playing this game for a long time to know how it was in the past, and not this crazy business that is become in Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Colombia, and all these places with academies and getting kids sign contracts when they're 10, 11 years old. Or it's not that they signing the contract, they actually verbalize something that they say, okay, you're gonna sign with this team when you're 16 years old, but they're not really seeing what's their value when they're 16. You know what I mean? So they're actually doing these pre-acuerdos with kids who are not even ready and are losing all the education of their life. And that's one of the things that we need to continue to fight for, you know, for these kids to continue to have an opportunity to go to school, to get education, and getting signed when they need to be getting signed. 15, 16 years old, whatever it is, we continue to fight for that and continue to try to help both sides understand what's going on in Venezuela and in Dominican Republic and all Latin America to find a way to get that thing better.
Okay, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
Listen, it was a fun 2.5 weeks before the lockout because guys were just flying off the shelves and signing big deals in some cases, right? We had Corey Seager and old teammate of yours with the Dodgers, signed for $325 million with the Texas Rangers. First of all, are you shocked that he did not stay in LA?
Oh, well, not really, because I think he's from Texas or Oklahoma.
I think he's from North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Is he? I don't know. I know he's a country guy.
Okay.
Which is something that didn't surprise me for him to go there, because I mean, Texas are making moves, trying to build a team there, like that division is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be, open for grab, Now knowing that the Astros probably not gonna be as strong as they used to be, maybe with no Correa, and who knows who's gonna play short there, and how's the situation with the pitching staff gonna be, But yeah, I like Texas making all this move, and actually getting a middle infielder, like between Simeon and Corey Seager, and a good catcher behind the play, and a couple more additions to the pitching staff. I think they're gonna be a pretty good team. But yeah. I'm happy for Corey. He leave LA, and he played in Los Angeles, and he won a championship there, MVP of the World Series. Maybe it was time for him to move on and go be the star that he can be.
So, the team in your division has made a ton of moves. So they started out by adding a bunch of 30-something bats, right? We talked about Marte, Mark Canha, Eduardo Escobar, all guys, good vets, can still play. And then, boom, they bring in Scherzer, and we're like, whoa. Now, when you hear that you got to deal with, you thought you had gotten rid of him out of Washington. You're like, good. Go to the other coast.
Yeah.
Go to the American League if you want to. I'm done with you. And now all of a sudden he's back in the division. Was it a little bit demoralizing?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And actually, because he's gonna pair up with the best pitcher in baseball right now, And you imagine facing deGrom and him back to back in a series of 3.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you.
It's not fun, man.
Sucks.
And you're always gonna fight for your at bats, but there's never gonna be easy at bats with those guys. And one of the things about Scherzer and coming to the Mets, Scherzer make anything that he played for make him better, just because the way that he goes about his business. He's gonna stay healthy. He's gonna throw a lot of games, a lot of innings, and giving that support to Jacob, not having to be the ace every single time. It's gonna be like a combination of aces. That's what I seen there. It's not fun to see that happen, but that's another challenge that we have to battle and face.
I know you love to play every day. I know you say you're just not in a good mood when Skip tells you need a day off. Can I just tell you this? You're going to have to take a day off occasionally. Save it for this series. Like, you can deal with one of those two monsters. We don't need to have you taking back-to-back days against them.
Nah, that's one of the things that as a player that plays every day and consider himself a leader. Those are the days who hurt you the most when you don't see yourself in the lineup, because I don't know. I was a bench player for so long that it was never easy to see starting players getting off days when the ace was pitching for the other team. I feel for the guys who are on the bench, And you imagine, I'm talking about, let's say, John Birdie, who's being our kind of utility guy the last couple of years, and he's having plays in 5 days, And Donnie, and instead of wait for like maybe a matchup that is better for John, just gave me an off day with deGrom, which it's not the easiest pitcher, but I hit well,
Right.
I hit deGrom well, and I hit Scherzer okay, and I feel like I want to be a leader. I want to be in there, so I want to be in there every single day. I don't want John Birdie to have to like wait 5 days to face this guy just 4 at-bats against deGrom, being on the bench for the last 5 days, just pinch hitting here and there. So for me, those are the days who are kind of, bother me a little bit more.
So did that ever happen to you when you were a bench guy at the beginning of your career? And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, they're like, Scherzer's pitching today. Mickey, go grab a bat. Go get him, pal.
Go
Hang
get
with
him.
him.
Yeah. I remember when I was with the Dodgers, I mean, it was, I know it wasn't like planned, but I was facing the Johnny Cuetos, the Matt Cains, the Bumgarners. I remember in that division that year, I mean, and Colorado have like De La Rosa, who was pitching well at that time. Marquez was just making it to the big leagues, really good stuff. And those are the games that I was playing, I was playing the Cuetos, the Volques, the Bumgarners. It was crazy. I'm not going to say that I hit 180 because of that, but I mean, being a bench player and have to face those guys is not an easy task.
No. One other interesting thing with the signings, if you had asked me 3 years ago about the Cubs, I always thought that Kris Bryant or Javy Baez was going to get a $200 million deal from the Cubs. I didn't think both of them were. I thought one of them was going to get traded and the other guy they were going to build around. I didn't know which one it was. For a while, I thought it was Bryant after his MVP season, and then Baez finished runner-up in the MVP and can do so much, not only defensively, but running the bases. I thought he was going to be the guy, and now neither of them are going to be there, right?
Right.
And Baez signed a great deal for 140 mil, but it ain't 200 mil.
Right.
And I don't think Bryant's going to get 200 mil either from what other team he joins us. Does it surprise you a little bit that neither one of those guys ended up staying in Chicago long-term?
Especially after what they did over there, winning a championship after so many years of an organization waiting for that, and with all the support that they get from Chicago, it's hard to believe that they both left and Rizzo left,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually didn't sign back there. So it's surprising to me that they didn't stay there and they were the face of the franchise. But that's how baseball works right now. It's not about the player; it's about what they need to do to continue to beat the system. That's what I'm seeing. Like I'm not seeing that kind of loyalty to players anymore. Of like, okay, let's keep this guy here because he's gonna be the face of this franchise no matter what. Like Miguel Cabrera in Detroit. Back in the day, Miggy is the face of the franchise in Detroit just because they say, you know what, this guy's been doing it all for us. So let's keep this guy here. We like him, we want him, and they have him win,
Right.
But they have Miguel Cabrera there. At least he's gonna draw some fans, and he's gonna be the best and the most popular player over there. So I feel like that's where we're disconnecting right now with the baseball that we grew up loving.
Hey, everybody, I need you to do me a favor, and I will do you a favor as well. Here at JOMBOY Media, we are very proud of all the programming that we put out, but we don't want to rest on our laurels. We want to get better. So that's why we need to hear from you in a very brief survey that's going to take you less than 5 minutes. We want to hear what you like about all the programming, where we can get better, what you don't like. It's okay. We all have thick skin. We understand you're not going to love everything we do. That's okay. The way we get better is to hear from our audience, from our consumers out there, because we want to supply the sort of programming that you crave. In addition to that, in addition to getting better programming from us, from doing this survey, you're going to get 20% off of your next purchase at our shop. Okay. So if you haven't done all of your holiday shopping, let us help you out. 20% discount, whether it's for yourself or that's someone special in your life or just a family friend, 20%. And I'm talking about less than 5 minutes of work that's going to be beneficial for you anyway. So thanks so much for filling out the survey. A few other things real quickly. The holidays. So I know that your son obviously is big time into Christmas. How big was that list this year?
Oh, I mean, we got two lists because it's the list in Venezuela and the list when we get to United States.
Wait a
Because I
second.
mean,
Wait,
he said,
hold on. Boy. There's two lists. No.
yeah.
There's one list.
So he said that Santa have to stop here and then continue to go to the United States because it's up north.
Smart kid.
Yeah.
Smart kid.
That's what he thinks.
Okay, so in honor of what we turned him into, we turned him into a Lego fan. Did Legos make the list?
Yeah. Lego is there. Pokemon Legos.
Okay.
So yeah, he's big into because he got all the Legos from Mario Brothers. So they came out with a new collection. So he's probably gonna get a couple of those, but he asked for a lot of the Pokemon ones. So he's building Pokemon Legos. He asked for a couple of the Pokemon little things that he collected and he's putting on his room. And I'm not gonna be a hater because I'm collecting shoes. He can collect Pokemons, you know.
Got to start easy. Yeah, start simpler when you're that age. But
Exactly.
He's 6 now, right?
He's 6 now. Yeah, he
Yeah.
just turned 6 a month ago.
Yeah, and your daughter still, she doesn't get it yet. It hasn't. She's not even a year yet, right?
No, she's not a year yet, but she's almost there. January 15th. Pretty excited about her birthday coming up. Looking forward to that. And man, the girl is a different love with her.
Yeah, that's what I always heard. I had 2 boys whom I love dearly, but man, my wife and I, we look at each other. We're like, should have had 3.
I know.
Should have had 3. Oh well.
Exactly.
That's okay.
How about you, Kris? How's this lockdown been treating you?
Oh, well, we still have baseball today. Plouffe and I are still doing that twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. And so we find some
I'm seeing that.
about. Yeah, but I mean, listen, those first few days of free agency were so much fun and there was so much content for us. But the nice thing is that with JOMBOY, we don't stop. Just because there's a lockout, it doesn't mean that we can't sit here and we'll bring up some huge names that are still in free agency. Where do we think they fit best? So we do a lot of that. We try to look at, I mean, at some point this lockout's going to stop, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to have
Definitely.
games and we're going to have guys changing teams and we're going to have teams that are going to have to make some trades because they've got too many holes to fill. And so we do a lot of that and it's okay.
I love it.
Yeah. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. We talked about your team. We talked about your team a little bit.
If it's because of you guys, the baseball fans, I mean, that's they're getting the content just because of you guys continue to do that.
Listen, I'm not here to throw darts at people, but
no,
at ESPN, they're fully engrossed in the NFL season, which I get, and the NBA season and college football championships and NHL and all that sort of stuff. I get it. And MLB Network has shut down. I mean, I've got a lot of friends that are just, they don't show up to work because there's no programming. They're just showing old games, which are fun to watch. I tune in occasionally if there's an old game and I'm flipping through and I want to see it, great. But if baseball fans deserve better, we need to still be talking about the sport. Just because there's no player movement doesn't mean we can't be talking about it. There's still a lot of interesting stuff out there, in my opinion.
That's why we're here talking to you guys.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. How much, by the way, before we wrap things up here, how much, since you're a player rep, how much information's coming your direction? Do you get texts or emails every day about what's happening or what's not happening?
Yeah, no, I mean, the union is being amazing because it's really hard, it's 1,200 players in 30 teams, 40-man roster guys who needs to have an idea of what's going on. A lot of those players are, I mean, majority of them, I think, are in between 0 and 6 years. There's not so many old players of service time, and those guys are probably never involved of something like this before, because I mean the last time we bargained for a new CBA was 4 years ago. A lot of those guys weren't even in the big leagues yet.
Mhm.
So for me, is continue to have the information out there for them, you know, to make the right, you know, the right decisions at the time that we have to make a decision, and or we need to vote as a team, you know. Us reps needs to continue to serve that information to them. So what I do is I have our own team kind of chat where I send a lot of information. A guy who helped me is Anthony Baez, you know, another old player, veteran player who is in our clubhouse. We know we're gonna have him next year. So he sent information as well for American players. I help a lot of the Latin players. Situations like myself, you know, I wanted to play winter ball, but what's going to happen if I play winter ball during a lockout and something happened to me? Those are the kind of questions that, I mean, you always frequently get asked by players, you know. We got a couple of Dominican players in Dominican playing the winter ball in Dominican, and they continue to ask, hey, what would I do? You know, if something happened to me, what's going to happen? So the union is being really good, getting back to us with answers throughout this whole time to actually to keep us together. And that's one of the most important things, that the players are together and we continue to communicate throughout chats, and I mean, working out together and working out with guys who are just got put in the 40-man roster. And you got to educate them, you know, tell them, hey, what's going on and what's going to happen. If this happen, what's going to be our response, or something like that. And so that's why it's important for all players to help the new players who are coming in the roster.
So I covered the last strike in 1994. I was working as a sports producer in Cincinnati, Ohio. And the last day, I think it was like August, I want to say it was like August 11th or 12th, somewhere right around there. And the Reds were playing the Dodgers that day. And so here I am. I'm this young kid. I was 23 years old. I was really new in the business. And I'm walking around from clubhouse to clubhouse, and I'm in the Dodgers clubhouse. And I remember that I think Oral Hershiser might have been their player rep. And I asked him to talk about it. And he said, no, I can't talk about it. Vin Scully was in the middle of the clubhouse that day, because I think he knew, he was like, this one's going to be a long one. So I want to come down and, you know, talk to some of the players. Right. And I said, Mr. Scully, do you have a couple of minutes? And he said, absolutely, son. And I talked to him for like 5 minutes. I interviewed him about the impending strike. And I wish I still had that tape somewhere, because it was beautiful. I was probably like this the whole time, like,
right.
Like, you know, one of the legends of the business that I'm trying to break into. But I remember it being a very, very sad day. And I just know that I remember the day that Bud Selig announced that there was not going to be a World Series. And I was like, how is this happening? And we're so many steps from not even having games, you know,
one game,
like that. We are miles and miles away from that. But I just have to say that both sides need to understand how fragile the psyche of the baseball fan is right now.
Yeah. And we can feel it, you know, we can feel it on social media. We can feel it on everywhere. But the thing is, we're going to continue to fight for what's right for the players and for the game, you know.
And I don't think nobody begrudges you for doing that. I mean, I think we'd all do the same thing. Like, if we're all trying, it's on different scales. You know, your average salary is significantly more than the average person that makes out there. It doesn't mean that you should stop fighting. You need to keep fighting.
Exactly.
But at the same time, there has to be, like, I think there has to be an important time where both sides sit down and say, we cannot have what happened in 94 happen again. We cannot miss games, because that will screw our sport.
That will not be beneficial for anybody, you know, players, fans, young families who are trying to get their kids involved in baseball, or you know, women or men who love baseball, who love softball, who love the game, you know. We need to continue to have that, and for us players, we're always gonna be down to play because that's what we do for a living.
I hear you, man.
I don't know how to do anything else.
You know how to do plenty. You just happen to be really good at baseball. Don't sell yourself short, my man. You could do.
Well,
there's a hell of a lot of things that you could do.
I'll be here if you need another representative of the JOMBOY media.
Hey, man, when we have the next blitzball tournament, you're in. I mean, I'm just saying.
Let's do it.
Smokes. Be careful, though. I mean, you think hitting the Scherzer slider stuff, that blitzball movement
this guy.
Easy.
Oh, my God.
All right, we're going to spin the wheel of moderately interesting things, which you will be happy to know has new categories since when we last saw you. Okay?
I hope I get a new one.
They're all new. You're getting a new one.
Even better.
Okay? Ring chaser. My gosh, I've gotten that a lot for guys. I know you want that ring, man. Right? Would you be willing to have your big right toe amputated to the point where you can still play?
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
The right toe.
Yeah, the big one. The big one. Meaty one. So you might be a little gimpy. I don't know, but we're going to take it from you. If it meant I could guarantee you a World Series ring.
Yeah, I don't need 10 of them. I got another 9,
Well,
I guess
hold on.
I can still go.
But what's your favorite material thing?
Shoes.
Okay. I don't know how the Jordans are going to fit without a big right toe.
I mean, it's going to be the same, like I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So give me a ring, guarantee me a ring, and you can take my big toe. No problem. Did
you ever think you'd get a question like that?
I mean, that was a crazy one, to be honest with you. It's kind of tricky because you start thinking about it and like you don't know if you can live without it,
Try and walk around where you're staying today at your mother-in-law's. Just try and walk around without the toe. See how you're doing. And then you might change your answer. Oh,
hey, give me that ring. I'm good.
You're good? You're good?
Yeah.
We could always frame the toe too. We could put it on the shelf behind you back at your home studio.
No, I mean, that's gonna be the gift for the people who are gonna give me the ring,
Yeah.
So
it's kind of nasty. I don't know where I really came up with that one.
That was a tough one. I don't know who came up with that one. That was you?
I'll take the blame on that. I mean, I'm just kind of a raging idiot at this point. My head's been all over the place lately. All right, listen, Miggy, I appreciate you taking an hour out of your time as you are on vacation with the family and hanging out with family. And most importantly, have a wonderful Christmas with your family, a happy, healthy New Year, and we'll get to talk to you in 2022. You're staying down there a while? Are you coming back to Miami?
No. I'm coming back to Miami early January. So I'm here just for the holidays and enjoying the family for that time. I mean, it's different when you go to to another country and been doing it there for a while. Now I'm feeling like when I grew up, like the same kind of feelings in these days when people are going crazy trying to buy some things, trying to make the houses the pretty as possible. So I miss that. And one of the other things that I've been doing, I've been going to places that I used to grow up playing,
the old ball fields
over there. All fields, yeah.
I like that.
I mean, and something that, I mean, just for you guys to keep up with it, December 23rd, I'm going to be doing a home run derby in my hometown field with a couple other baseball players from Venezuela and young prospects that are growing up in the academies here. So looking forward to do that, to bring a little bit of happiness to my people in the city that I grew up. And I mean, that's what I'm here for, like enjoying time with my people that I haven't seen in a long time.
That is so special. By the way, does your mom live in the same place where you grew up or is different house?
No, I move her a little bit closer to Caracas, which is the capital, where she's getting all the treatment and all that. but I mean, pretty close. It's like a 30 minutes ride.
Got it. Well, listen, continue the great work. Best to your family. Give Mama a hug for us, please. Tell her we love her. Tell her we're cheering her on from a distance, and that is the most important stuff, obviously, as we continue on here. All right, brother. Have a great holiday season. It's great catching up with you. Best to the family. Can't wait to see Aaron open the Legos, and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. Yeah. Thank you guys very much for the time, and for all the fans out there, happy holidays to you and to all the people who love baseball and who's been supporting not just us, the players, but I mean, our podcast that we've been doing with so much love throughout our first year. I think it was a total success. Mm-hmm. Thank you I'm thankful for the opportunity again, and hopefully I can do it again in 2022 with you guys.
Hey, come on, man. You know, the door is always open for my man, Miguel Rojas. It's that simple. Nice. Special shout out to our producer, editor extraordinaire, the one and only Robbie Scirocco. From Miguel Rojas, I'm Kris Rose. We'll see you next time on the Kris Rose Rotation, a production of JOMBOY Media.